Welcome Amakhosi Network, guys. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. So yeah, today the latest news that we have for Kaizer Chiefs, or the things we're gonna chat about today, is Chiefs talking to Kevin Johnson to join the technical team, well, to be the technical director, the position, not technical director, head of whatever, that Molifinziki's previous position, and also preview to the Sundowns game. Okay. Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is apparently it's apparently a done deal. It's and Chiefs is gonna announce the deal on Monday. So basically, he's gonna head up the integrating the youth into the senior team and also ensuring that the youth structures are built well, etc. Basically, Molifenseke's old job. They have now found someone to replace Molifenseke. But the question is, now this is where I am bringing the question to be like, if Molifenseke loses against Sundown and the fans go crazy and the fans start throwing stones and all of those things, it will be a risk for Molifenseke to continue to be the Kaizer Chiefs coach. So then chances are they'll say, hey, Kevin Johnson, we know we were meant to plan to make you the head of what. Now please come be the coach of Kaizer Chiefs. So that will happen. So I think chances are Kevin Johnson may be the coach if Molifensiki actually loses against Sundowns. But if he wins, then the fans will be like, he won. Let's give him a chance. But if he loses, I know no one will want to want to see Molifensiki. So, and it will be a risk to him because fans are angry now. So it will be a risk to him to stay in that job. So Kevin Johnson may either be the head of that, head of technical or he will be the coach. So that is what's going to happen. What do I think of Kevin Johnson as a technical good? I think he found about Steven Pinar and all of those things. So he's good. He knows how to develop and find the young talents, etc. And he knows how to get the structures done well. So I don't mind him. I would have preferred Farouk Khan, but Kevin Johnson is not a bad player to have. And then when we think of him as a coach, I don't know. He's one of the better coaches in the PSL, but I've never really viewed him as the one of the best, but he's definitely better than the average PSL coach, if that's the one thing I'll say. Maybe he'll be better when he has a more solid squad, but his football hasn't, like, if you watch his football is more Gavin Hunt like football. It's not at the thing of playing and all of those things. So that's my only thing. So yeah, his best stint was the time when he was at Platinum Stars with what is it, Uzongo, Masubusang Zongo and stuff like that. And those guys used to play, but the thing is that it was more Kevin Hunt like football with an extra bit of movement here and there. But now when we're playing against Sundowns and Pirates and all of these teams, they flow more. They're not as direct as Supersport. So, and Kevin Hunt's game. So that's what I have to say about that. The preview for the Sundowns game, I mentioned Mudau and Mudau. Why am I forgetting this guy? Mudau Mnimvala are out of the team because they have yellow cards, and Chiefs seem to have all the squad members. So, what is my prediction of the starting lineup for the Sundowns game? Sundowns game, I see Peterson starting. I see Shanti left back, Diklokwem Simang constant, and Gwinika, even though a lot of us don't know why the Frosler is not played ahead of Gwinika, but at the same time, I have come to the conclusion that Gwinika is playing there because he's solid defensively, and that's all they want from him. But we saw when we played against Supersport and stuff that he may be solid defensively, but when it's time to go forward, he's a weak link. So that's the problem. Now Frosler has been doing well defensively, and he's also one of the better people going forward. So I don't know why Molifensiki would play with Frostline like that. But anyway, and then probably it's gonna be Matt Castillo, not probably Matt Castillo will play. I saw Nkosimpile Ngcobo and Sitebe were at the activation, what. So chances are they won't even be selected to even be in the squad. Chances are Sitebe and Ngcobo won't be there. So number 10 will probably be Matlo. Matlo will play ahead of Mtanzane because Mtanzane is not in form at all. And then left will probably be Modi. And then right will right. I think it's I don't know who's gonna play on the right, but it might be when I think of what Fenzeki is doing, he might play Dupree on the right and then play Gonzalez as the strike. Even though I don't think that would be the best way because we need to have pace. So I would play Dupree as the striker and maybe play Christian Saile as the right wing or Potsani, one of the two. But because Potsani has just disappeared, maybe he has an injury problem or something. So maybe play Christian Saile on the right. Just so we have pace. We have to have pace for Sundowns because, yeah, pace is needed. But at the same time, this is my warning to Chiefs if they want to play with pace. If you're going to play with pace, you must not hit long balls because everyone saw if you watch the Sundowns and Pirates game is that Ronwen Williams gets off the line very quickly. So if you do long balls and you expect your players to run behind, Ronwen Williams is gonna be almost there all the time to get the ball before you. So it needs to be precise balls that are closer to the feet of the player, because if it's too far ahead, even if your Dupree is fast, even if Sahil is fast, Modi is fast, Ronan Williams or chances I will get that ball first. So those long balls that Matt always hits, those long balls that hits, they won't be effective if Ronan Williams keeps coming out of the poles. So I'll say that about that. Do we think it's Chiefs is gonna win? Look, at the end of the day, I still feel Sundowns will win the game because Sundowns are better. But I will say this. This is what I'll say. Even though I think Sundowns will win, but I feel if there was ever a time where I felt Sundowns was beatable, it's the Sundowns we are playing now. The Sundowns that we are playing now seems more beatable than a lot of the other Sundowns we have played before. So that is just about it. Chiefs can definitely win the game, but they have to take their chances. And we saw in the past two games, the issue is that we did not take our chances. So it has to be a game where Chiefs like has 3 goals in the first half. When I say 3 goals, I'm like, we need we need 3 goals and to not defend because we can't defend 1 goal. That won't happen. We saw what happened when we tried to defend 1 goal. It didn't work out. We need goals. Like we need to keep pushing Sundowns and get the goals because Sundowns has never been tested behind. And I have a feeling they are very weak because in the last 2 games we have played Sundowns, we have scored in both those games, but we have scored when we only had like 1 shot on target. So imagine if we had like 5 shots on target. That could easily mean that we have 5 goals. But because we're lacking in the chances, then yeah, that's what happened. So that's what I think about that. I am so glad that Kaizer Chiefs is talking to Kevin Johnson because I've been seeing stories of Kaizer Chiefs talking to Middendorp and people were throwing in Moshin Etogral's name. I was like, no. Kevin Johnson is better than those guys. Middendorp, I don't even want to. I never want to see him in the Kaizer Chiefs grounds. He must go back to Germany. That's what I have to say about that. Yeah, guys. Player signings. The transfer window is closing today. We mentioned Luke Leroux. I mean Luke Fleurs. Sorry, Luke Fleurs, and that he's gonna probably sign with Chiefs. But the nice thing about Luke Fleurs is that he doesn't actually have to sign today. It's not a must that he signs today because the truth is that he's a free agent, so he can sign this weekend. He can sign next week. Doesn't matter. But if we're going to sign another player, it has to be today. So I don't know if this Sereno one will happen because apparently Sereno is told Sundowns, well, told this is what Rulani was saying in the press conference that As Cirino said, Sundowns must wait. There's a team that's going to come and make an offer. But they didn't say which team. So we don't know if it's the North African teams or it's Kaizer Chiefs. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And that's about it, Amakhosi. Tell me what you think about the game. Tell me what you guys think about Kevin Johnson being the next technical director or whatever that position he holds, or even being the coach.